Hello everyone, my name is Kenny Cormandy from the YouTube channel My Air Gun Reviews, and today we're going to look at pellet energy loss at 20 yards in 22 caliber versus 25 caliber. The pellet that we are going to use for the 22 versus 25 caliber demonstration is the H&N Hornet, the 23.16 grain in the 25 caliber and 16 grain in the 22 caliber. The two rifles we're going to use for this test is the Hatsan Carnivore 135 QE Vortex 25 caliber and the Hatsan 125 Sniper spring piston version in 22 caliber. For these two pellets and these two guns, the 135 25 caliber shot the H&N Hornet at 750.8 feet per second and developed 29 foot-pounds muzzle energy. Now the 125 Sniper 22 caliber shot that 16 grain pellet at 911.5 feet per second and developed 29.52 foot-pounds muzzle energy. So there's this one, the smaller caliber has 0.52 foot-pounds muzzle energy greater at the muzzle, but downrange at 20 yards, the 25 caliber had 659.2 feet per second, developing 22.35 foot-pounds of energy. And the 125 Sniper shooting the 16 grain at 20 yards, it was traveling at 785.5 feet per second and at 21.93 foot-pounds of energy. So this gun, the 22 caliber, started out with 0.52 foot-pounds of energy more than the 135, but at 20 yards it had 0.42 foot-pounds of energy less. That is only a drop-off of 0.94 foot-pounds of energy. Not a great amount with this particular pellet. One of the reasons is that this pellet is very aerodynamic. Now I'm going to also demonstrate how different 25 caliber pellets lose energy at different rates just because of their size at 20 yards. So first I'm going to put up the Crony numbers for these two guns for the initial 22 versus 25 caliber, so let's look at that. And also, it really doesn't make a much difference how much energy you have at 20 yards if you can't hit the target. So let's take a look at the accuracy of these two guns shooting those two pellets. Okay, now when it comes to the various shapes of pellets, I'm going to put up a picture here of three different pellets, the H&N Hornet 25 caliber, the H&N Barracuda 25 caliber, and the JSB Exact King Mark II 33.95 grain pellet in 25 caliber. Now the difference was quite a bit when it came to the shape of the pellet. The H&N Hornet, which was the most aerodynamic, started out at 29 foot-pounds of energy at the muzzle, ended up with 22.35 foot-pounds of energy at the muzzle. The H&N Barracuda, which is semi-pointed, a slightly more pointed shape than the JSB Exact King. That started out with 27.95 foot-pounds of energy at the muzzle and ended up with 23.47 foot-pounds of energy. The JSB Exact King Mark II, which is our most blunt pellet, started out with 26.96 foot-pounds of energy at the muzzle and ended up with 22.49. Okay, so you can see the H&N Barracuda had the biggest increase, or biggest gain on the other pellets. But they were all fairly close. 22.35 foot-pounds of energy, 23.47 foot-pounds of energy, and 22.49 foot-pounds of energy. That's a pretty small variation. There's 1.12 foot-pounds of energy difference between the most powerful and the least powerful at 20 yards. So the H&N Barracuda actually picked up 2.17 foot-pounds of energy over the H&N Hornet, and the JSB Exact King gained almost nothing. Well, it did close the gap. It was 2.04 foot-pounds of energy shy at the muzzle, and it was actually a plus 0.12, which is almost even. So the more aerodynamic heavy pellet had the biggest gains, and the most aerodynamic pellet didn't lose near as much as a less aerodynamic pellet. I'm going to put up the test for all of these pellets here so you can see their all the numbers, and then we'll go from there. Okay, you know, the wind speed that these pellets are cutting has a lot to do with it, and a more aerodynamic pellet is going to make a big difference. It's just amazing how much more a aerodynamic pellet saves energy going downrange, and that's something you got to take into account for, as well as the pellet weight, because the H&N Hornet pretty much had almost the same energy downrange as the much heavier pellets, so you really didn't save a lot. Even the 22 caliber was just about 22 foot-pounds of energy. That's pretty good energy downrange for a 22 caliber. So when you are looking at downrange energy, you're going to have to go by your muzzle energy, and B, your pellet shape when you come to figure out how much energy you're going to have downrange. Because like a wad cutter, you're going to lose a lot of energy downrange. So that's why they don't use them or recommend them for hunting. And the pellet, say the shape of a H&N Terminator, you know, that's going to grab a lot of wind, and I think you're going to lose some energy downrange. I'm yet to test that one at a downrange, but that pellet does very well at the muzzle, and I'm going to further test that pellet in a ballistics test here coming up pretty soon. But when it comes to choosing the pellet that you're going to get the most energy downrange, look at the pellet shape as well as the weight and the muzzle energy that it puts out initially. So that is my review of the 22 caliber versus 25 caliber for energy loss at 20 yards. My name is Kenny Cormandy, and thank you for watching.